President Muhammadu Buhari unveiling Nigeria's redesigned legal tender, the Naira. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele explains that Nigeria should have been redesigning its currency every 5 to 8 years, but that it was never done, and he hopes that going forward, the CBN would begin to do so. He also says previous attempts to redesign the currency was resisted and sabotaged until now, that President Buhari supported the bold step.
On Wednesday, the 23rd of November, 2022, the Central Bank of Nigeria finally revealed the new 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira notes. This comes after the announcement in October 2022, where the CBN announced that it will be issuing the redesign of the new Naira notes effective on the 15th of December 2022. Why exactly did Nigeria redesign these new notes? Is this all simply a money-making venture for somebody? Or is there an actual method to this endeavor? Drop a comment below to let me know what you think is the honest reason driving this move by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Do you think it's a good move for the government, or do you think it's a good move at the wrong time? Let me know your thoughts behind it, and let's have a dialogue. In today's video, I'm going to be diving into the reasons behind the government's decisions, the reasons they've given us, letting you know what exactly are the timelines with regard to the introduction of this new note and, I guess, the removal of the existing Naira notes. If you're based out of Nigeria and you have some old notes with you, what you have to do with regard to ensuring that the old notes you have in hand do not become of no value. If it's your first time here, quick introduction. My name is Sassy Funke, and I'm a Nigerian travel and lifestyle content creator, really creating to help Nigerians globally and Africans travel better and smarter. If that's something that's interesting to you and you find of value, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and join this incredible family here. Don't forget also to give this video a huge thumbs up. So let's dive quickly into the reasons behind the introduction of the new notes by the Central Bank of Nigeria. There are 6 main reasons that the CBN government has actually introduced this new Naira. Number 1 is money hoarding. What do I mean? Significant hoarding of banknotes by the public. Essentially, what they're saying here is that a lot of money that is being circulated right in Nigeria is not being held by banks. It's been said that over 80% of the money in circulation, right, is being held outside of bank vaults. To be more specific, this is what the CBN said. They said at the end of September 2022, available data to them indicated that 2.73 trillion out of the 3.23 trillion currency in circulation was actually being held outside of the vaults of commercial banks. So all of you people that put money under your bed, you dig the ground, you put it inside. Yes, there are people like that. And it goes on to say here, they said here that evidently currency in circulation has more than doubled since 2015, right, rising from 1.46 trillion in December 2015 to 3.23 trillion in September 2022, right? And essentially for them, they're saying this trend of money being held outside of the banks is worrisome for them. So they want to actually get money back into the banks. So that's one reason. Number 2, the shortage of clean banknotes. The CBN has said that there's a worsening shortage of having clean notes in the bank because a lot of people are keeping the notes outside of the bank, and this is not helping the perception of how the CBN is being seen. It's given a very negative perception of the CBN. And let's not lie, there's so many dirty notes that we keep getting from banks. So understandably so that they want to put a new influx of clean notes into the system. Number 3, counterfeiting, and this is a huge one. The CBN has said that there's an increasing ease and risk of counterfeiting, right, as shown by their security reports. And also, they've said that there's been recent developments in technology, right, that has made counterfeiting so much more easier. So people can counterfeit much easier now. A quote from the CBN governor, Emefiele, he said, in recent years, the CBN has recorded significantly higher rates of counterfeiting, especially at the higher denominations of the Naira. That's the 500 Naira and the 1,000 Naira banknotes, right? So essentially, they're trying to, and that's why I guess specifically, they're changing the 500 Naira and the 1,000 Naira and the 20 Naira banknotes. Number 4, it's time. What does that mean? Global practices actually say that central banks should every 5 to 8 years, redesign, produce, and circulate new legal tender. The truth of the matter is the Naira currency hasn't been redesigned for the past 20 years. So essentially, it is time. It is overdue time set for them to make this move and this change. Number 5, helping drive a cashless economy. Keeping it said that the redesign of this Naira is going to help drive a more cashless economy. Let's not lie. A lot of us in Nigeria use cash more often than we would do if we're in the West, whereby many of us don't even take cash out of the bank at all. So as they aim to actually drive this cashless economy, this is a way to get a hold of the money that's out in circulation into the banks. They also said that this obviously will be complemented by the minting of the e-Naira, which hasn't really been adopted in the market. So I feel like this is also to help make people adopt the e-Naira more quickly. And by doing this, I think they also feel like whenever they have any monetary policy, right, it is more likely to be more effective if they have a better hold of what exactly, is in circulation, and a lot of it is being held internally with the banks. Number 6, and a big issue, is kidnapping issues. Many of us are aware of the prevailing, security issues in Nigeria, whereby kidnapping has become a business. This is what people are using, as in they're sophisticated, and it's a money-making venture for people now to be kidnapping people. The CBN believes that the level of kidnapping and terrorism attacks in the country will be minimized, essentially because a lot of the payments being made to terrorists is actually in cash. And if they're able to drive a lot of that income into the banks, it will be easy for it will be harder for terrorists to demand such sums again, and in effect reduce the kidnappings. Like, what are your thoughts on this particular reason? I think it's, I definitely think at a macro level, it will definitely reduce the instance of kidnapping, but it could also put people in very tough situations whereby, people are being forced to pay ransoms that they cannot have access to, right? Oh, let me know your thoughts on that. Now, I'm going to actually dive into what you need to know going forward with regard to the introduction of this Naira notes. The key things with regard to the timelines, and also if you're hoarding money abroad and you're not going to be back until after election, like, how do you navigate that? Number 1, the new Naira notes, the 20 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira notes were initially meant to be introduced into the circulation on the 15th of December, 2022, but it's been said that it's going to be introduced slightly earlier, possibly by the end of this month in October. Slowly, it will be introduced into the market. Number 2, the new and the whole legal tender. So the new and the old Naira notes will remain legal tender, meaning you're still going to be able to use it to buy things, right, up until the 31st of January 2023, after which you will have to be using the new notes to actually pay for things, because it will no longer be a valid legal tender. Number 3, you can now start depositing your old Naira notes into the bank. And it's key to note that the government has banned, or not banned, have told banks that they should not charge for deposits anymore. So there is no disincentive to say, oh, they're going to charge me to deposit money. It is free to deposit money to all banks at this point. Number 4, if you have money, don't wait until last minute, till the January time to start depositing money. Do it as soon as possible, because there are going to be crazy bank queues expected towards the end of January 2023. So the sooner you do it, the better. And number 5, a lot of you have been asking me whether or not, I'm based in the US, I don't plan to come to Nigeria until maybe June next year, and they're saying this my old note is not going to be legal tender after the end of January. How do I change my money? Even though the government has said that, you know, at this point in time in January, everybody has to deposit their money by the end of January or whatnot. I personally believe, even though they've not stated it yet, that they will certainly give some accommodations in terms of points whereby you can actually deposit that money in the bank after the end of January, because that only makes sense. But maybe they have restricted banks you can do it at, or maybe you have to go to specific, you know, institutions to deposit the money, right? But it's clear that after the 31st of January 2023, your old notes, you will not be able to use it as legal tender in Nigeria. All you can be able to do, I believe, is that most likely you'll be able to deposit it some way, because I cannot imagine them saying, you know, whatever Naira you have, it's done, it's dead, it's, you know, it's, you can't get your money back. I don't think that would be the case, but let me know your thoughts on that. Because on the other hand, actually, it's Nigeria, anything is possible. Like, what do you think? Anyways, guys, that is the end of my video. I really hope it's been very, like, to the point, succinct, delivered in a way that you understand it perfectly. If not, and you still have questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you made it here, if you're my ride or die and you made it to the end, leave a comment and just say it, Sassy, we need cash. We need cash. Don't we all need cash, eh? Sassy, we need cash. That's the phrase of the day. Thank you once again for your love and support. I appreciate all of your support on this channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video. Bye.